Welcome back to the View where we talk everything and everything elk hunting with my boy
Jamie Jacobson.
and the host Carson Whedon.
Yeah, baby.
So this episode, we're gonna talk about equipment and stuff you wear on your body. In the last episode, we talked about the bow, anything about the bow, and what type to get, and all that. So check out the last episode we talked. On this episode, we're gonna get straight into camo. So, personal opinion, camo for archery is kind of a like good deal.
You need it.
Yeah, for archery, yes.
You need it.
Rifle, not
doesn't.
so much.
No.
I mean, I go in blue jeans for rifle, but archery,
It helps. Definitely helps.
it breaks up your silhouette of your body, so when an elk sees you, you blend in with the trees or
And they don't know what you are.
Because elk are smart, they're also dumb.
Mm-hmm. That's the one thing that they lack is good vision.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. It's not like they have bad vision.
Are they colorblind?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all animals are colorblind.
I don't know.
But that's the one sense that they are lacking is their vision, because they're good at smelling, they're really good at hearing.
Yeah.
But they can't see very well.
So there's different types of camo. So this is the camo I'm wearing right now. It's called Origin. This is their Raptor Woodlands camo. This is a light hoodie I have, just showing the camo pattern. So this type of camos I wear now, as you can see. Looks like a raptor claw, which I think is sweet, and also it's American made. There's that type of camo. Then there's the big brand of Sitka, which is like the digital camo. This is like their mountain.
This is going to be their open country, which is made for more of a rifle hunting situation compared to their other camo patterns where they have the subalpine, which is going to be more black on here and a little bit lighter shades of green and tan and all of that for those animals that are a little bit close. They say to use open country when you're about rifle hunting and like 50 yards plus, and then their other camo is worth 50 yards and in on there. I personally wear Kuyu. We don't have any of that with us. But Kuyu is going to be very similar to Sitka. Actually,
so it's like a bulgy kind of.
A little bit. It's still this like pixelated stuff, a little bit different color variation, and it got other couple brands. But the guy who made Sitka is also the guy who made Kuyu. But which is cool about Sitka is it's a Bozeman company, so Montana company, so that also helps with that.
I think the only store in the States of Sitka is in Bozeman now, which is cool because
they're building one in Texas too. I'm actually applying to work at Sitka.
But also another Bozeman brand is called Stone Glacier. But they're more of a sheep brand, but they also like pretty good like quality materials.
Yes.
So this is their light down jacket. I mean, I wore this last week deer hunting in Iowa, so like solid colors work too. But in our opinions, I would say camo. Just anything from like this is Sitka's the most expensive. I mean, it is worth the money in my opinion. Their rain gear, the Gore-Tex is unbeatable.
Yeah, definitely.
Lots of options, like everything from rain to freaking cold to under layers to soft, everything.
Yeah, it's an archery season. It's
really important for camo, in my opinion.
But not also that, but also the fact that it's going to be hot in the middle of September, so having moisture wicking stuff, lightweight stuff,
that light hoodie right here,
all of that sort of stuff is also very important.
It also can be cold though.
In the mornings it's cold, but that's why you got to wear merino wool. Merino wool is nice.
But also there's another camo like this backpack I have. Like everyone knows Realtree, or Mossy Oak. This is kind of type that camo. This is more like your Midwest, like whitetail kind of camo, but not so much in Montana. No one wears a type of camo anymore. It's more.
What do you mean, dude? Everybody wears Realtree still. Realtree's still popular because it's affordable.
I haven't seen Realtree in a while.
I saw it. I was hunting.
But there's solid camo like that you can wear. I mean, but probably get something like this or along those lines. But
And there's more brands than the one we've talked about.
There's Kuyu, Origin, Sitka, Mossy. Is it Mossy Oak or Realtree? They're
the same. They're two different.
Okay.
Those aren't even like camo companies, like clothing companies. You got Kings. You've got there's Shields branded stuff. There's Cabela's branded stuff. There's so many cameras. You don't have to go out and buy them.
Yeah, it's just all what you want to depend on pay for that. Once again, back to the pricing point of everything. Just whatever you want to. The more expensive probably it is, the better quality of it is. So all comes down to that. But and also with when you're wearing a camo, you need a scent killer because elk have a really good smell. They'll smell you before they see you. Mm-hmm. So they sell us at Shields. It's called Scent Killer. Well, there's also
different types
different
of
brands.
So there's different types of scent killers. This one is just going to be a complete scent killer that you spray in your clothes. Usually the day before or a couple hours before you go out hunting, you gotta let it dry on there. Spray it on your boots. Spray it on pretty much all of your stuff, and it kind of gives that scent kill. Laundry detergent.
Wipes.
Wash your clothes. There's wet wipes where you can wipe down yourself. They also make like stuff that's elk estrus and that sort of stuff that you can spray, so then you smell like an elk.
What elk estrus is?
You can explain what elk estrus is.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's elk piss.
Yes.
So and that's what like when a cow elk is in rut, she'll start peeing, and there's a certain scent of that where the bull elk picks that up, and then he knows that cow's in heat, so they start chasing cows.
Hormones.
And then that's when you start doing cow calls and call a bull, and which we'll get into later in this video. But if you don't want to if you don't want to pay for it, I have a box over here with my boots on it because they're muddy, but let me grab the box real fast. So this is what we do. My dad did, or started with me. You get a box like this, and you get something like where I hunt with a lot of sagebrush, and look at that.
That's sagey.
That's sagebrush. Cut some sagebrush off, throw it in a box, throw all your camo in there, and it'll smell. Well, first off, really good, and not gonna smell you. So think, it just smells like sagebrush because where I hunt, there's sagebrush everywhere. So, whatever, like pine needles, I don't know.
Anything. I know they make like bottles now where you can put it's like a spray bottle, and you can put like whatever is surrounding you in there. So if you were out, where you hunt, and you had all this sagebrush and you didn't have like a box of clothes or whatever, you can put it in there and it grinds it up, and then you can spray it on you. Have you seen those?
No.
It's pretty sweet. You can grind it.
Well, I also know those little black discs. You can. It's more like dirt. You can put in your backpack. They sell those.
They sell those for elk too.
There's so many things for smell.
There's a lot of things for smell.
But smell is probably this. I would say behind your bow. I think your scent is
not just your scent, but your wind.
Well, scent is
wind, exactly. Because if you have the wind in your favor, like we use wind checkers.
So wind checkers. This is a wind checker. One of them. There's countless things. So what you do. They're pretty cheap. They're like $5? Yeah. Worth it.
Get a couple.
Every penny.
Get a couple. I've washed them in the washing machine before.
You put your finger. You open the nozzle like that. Put your finger over it. Shake it.
And the wind's blowing, and so then you're. So the white powder comes out, and then you know which way the wind's going. You always want the wind coming opposite of where you're trying to go, because as soon as that wind swirls and is going towards those elk, they're gone. They are gone.
Just rule of thumb, you want the wind in your face, because if it's in your face, the elk are in front of you, and the elk like to travel into the wind because they can smell ahead of it.
It has screwed me over at least 5 times this season.
Because you could be seeing like this September. I was just perfect, hunkered down behind a big bush on this ridge, waiting for them to come out in this hayfield, sitting there. I had wind. And then the last second, when the time for them to come out, it flipped on me, and just I didn't have a chance.
And those elk, even if they can't figure out what you are and they can hear you, they're gonna move. I had a bull probably within 100 yards of me. I saw his feet, but never saw his whole body, and I watched him walk all the way to where he could wind me and my brother so that he could figure out what we were, smelt us, and was gone. So those things are big things.
Never underestimate elk, because they are smart creatures, and they can cover a land a lot faster than you can.
Yes.
But
I think another big thing that when it comes to your gear, comes to being along with like clothing, being warm, being dry, all of those things, is going to be a good pair of boots. As you can see, Carson's boots here.
A little muddy. I was hunting on last week, but these are.
But these boots have lasted you a while.
So those are These are the Kenetrek hard scrabblers, I think they're called. I've
Yes,
had these since I was a sophomore in high school, and I mean they're the most comfiest pair of shoes I own probably. These are, I mean, they're expensive. They're $500.
Getting a good pair of boots, not just Kenetrex, but getting a good pair of boots is probably one of the most important things when it comes to hunting, not in just archery, but in rifle and all over. Because you're going to be walking a lot, especially during archery season. You want a boot that is comfortable. You want a boot that you can walk a long ways in. You want some of those things. You want a boot that's going to keep your feet warm in the morning, keep your feet warm if you're sitting in a tree stand, and then dry. Because if you're crossing creeks, if you're in the morning and there's that dew on there, having that, you don't have to go buy $500 boots. You can get in some boots that are a little bit more budget friendly in there, but again,
I mean,
as we've talked about, you're paying for what you're gonna get. Carson and I both wear Kenetrex, and both love Kenetrex. I know some people's feet don't fit well in Kenetrex.
No, it all depends on your foot
the
width.
foot and your arch of your foot, depending on if you have a really people who wear Kenetrex have big arches usually. People who don't really like Kenetrex usually have a really flat foot. Doesn't work for them. For some people that have wider feet, you can wear crispy. There's lots of different boots that you can
Under
wear.
Armour. I used to wear Under Armour before I wear Kenetrex. So I'm Kenetrex till I die because I've had those since sophomore year of high school, and I'm a senior now, so that's 7 years, going on 8 years, and the leather is just starting to get worn out.
Yeah.
And those are $500, and those have gotten way well worth the price of those. But also, if you're gonna spend your money on anything, probably
I'd go
boots and bow. Nah, bow not so much, but boots.
Boots, 100%. Get a nice pair of boots. It makes all the difference in the world. I used to hunt
nothing sucks worse than your feet just wet
hurting
and cold.
or wet.
Wet and cold sucks, and you're just hurting.
I mean, I used to hunt in terrible boots, and I ended up getting a really nice pair of boots, getting Kenetrex, and it makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, just make sure
all the difference in the world.
They're strong for your ankles too.
Yes, especially depending on where you're hunting. If you're hunting in steep stuff, you want a real rigid boot. If you're hunting a little bit more flat ground, it doesn't really make a big difference.
I mean, there's different heights. Like those are those short ones, but the shorter boots of Kenetrex. But I'm also not crossing any creeks. They're big, tall. They're just done. You just got deep dive into boots.
Along with the boot, having a nice sock is very, very nice. Having a lightweight sock, because boots, especially if you're hunting in an all leather boot, those boots are going to be warm. If you wear like a super thick sock, your feet are going to get sweaty and they're going to get gross.
There's insulated, non-insulated boots. Those are non-insulated. I would die insulated because they get too hot. But
especially in archery season, having a non-insulated boot makes all the difference in the world. And then once you get a little bit more into rifle and it gets a little colder, having an insulated boot is very nice.
Or just having non-insulated and wearing nice.
I
wear small socks in the winter with those Kenetrex, and I don't get a cold.
But during archery season, I found that if you wear super lightweights, I wear super lightweight socks that are moisture wicking. I wear the Kenetrex liner socks. That's what I wear.
I wear those. I think I wear the hiking socks that they make.
Yeah, I wear those, and they're moisture wicking, keep my feet dry because they're sweating all the time, and keep them at a good temperature. All those. But as you kind of progress your archery season, it gets a little bit colder. Kind of work your way up in a sock more than putting on a completely different boot.
Boots are one of the big ones.
Huge part. I think another big thing is going to be a hunting pack.
Yes, and that gets crazy. But I have 2 hunting backpacks right here.
When I grab both of those, I'll take.
But there's tons of different backpack brands.
Here, I'll take that.
You want my Instagram one?
Because
So I had this as a kid. I took this to the Yukon when the dad. It's called Tenzing. It's just a soft pack. There's a little bit of plate in there, but mostly soft. I mean, this is a great travel pack if you're flying or whatever. But if you're hiking a lot, having a good pack that supports your back.
100%. Having a pack
pretty simple, budget friendly, but
yeah. You got a pack like Mystery Rancher that Carson has. Mystery Ranch is a Buzzman company. They make really nice packs. I know Sitka makes some really nice packs. Kuya makes packs. Stone Glacier.
Everly Stock.
There's a lot of different pack companies out there. What is nice about having these packs, and pretty much all of them, is going to be having a nice frame on here. I think Mystery Ranch makes one of the nicer frames, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just because it's a little bit lighter and it's also very durable.
And Montana made too. That's pretty cool.
But having this frame, supports your back a lot when you're carrying a lot of stuff in your pack. You're putting on those days of 10 plus miles hiking around. Having these packs is really nice. I know
they're comfy. Like this,
yes.
like this thing is like so with backpacks. You can believe it or not, you can get either sizes. You can get, and you can adjust this thing right here. Adjust up and down. This is a small, medium, and there's a large, extra large. I think
small, medium, large, large, extra large.
But one thing about this is custom. This is fit to me. I mean, this is an add-on. I have a cell phone holder. It's kind of cool. But this is the Pimler. This is 33 liters.
Something like that.
Pretty close. Like a long day pack. I kind of like to think about it. You could put some water in there with a
bladder
for the hose to your mouth. But I'll just put it on real fast to show you guys. Pretty. I mean, super comfy. 2 clips.
And all the weight with these packs, the waistband is so strong and durable that it sits right above Carson's hips here and puts all that weight on your hips instead of on your shoulders. So then that way it's not.
It just feels like
doesn't hurt as much.
Like when you put it on, it feels like the weight's here and somewhat here, and it all depends on how you adjust your straps.
Yes.
And Mystery Ranch is one of the brands that you can do this. This part is their overload feature. Which you can put like your hind quarters right against your
So the meat shelf goes in. If Carson stands right here, the meat shelf would tuck in right back in here, and so you would have, if you cut up a quarter of an elk or whatever, you can take the pack off, just the actual pack, not the frame. Take it off, and you can slip a quarter in there to pack it out, which is very nice. A lot of packs have that now.
Yep.
And along with all the other packs, and along with Mystery Ranch, they have many different sizes of packs. The Pitler is one of the smaller ones. Mystery Ranch goes in a cool way because every single one is a mountain range. So as the mountain range gets bigger, in Montana, the pack gets bigger with the name. So the Pitler, it's kind of a small range in Montana, a smaller pack. The Beartooth, bigger range, bigger pack. I know Stone Glacier does bigger packs and smaller packs too. So it just depends on if you're going to be the person going in for a couple days with that pack, or if you're just going to be going out for the day.
It all just depends. Just go to your local dealer in town, wherever you're at. I mean, if you're in Missoula like we are, I'll go to Shields because they are not gonna do me the wrong way. But I mean, you could. I put my bow on here before. Not meant for a bow, but you can.
They got rifle slings, so Carson's got the rifle sling part under.
This is an accessory. There's that, and have a little clip right here that goes. You put a sling on your gun and it goes on there. You can just magnetic and it pops off, goes across your chest so the sling's not falling. But I mean, Mystery Ranch is probably one of the best brands in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. From what I've used and seen, but everyone's got their personal opinion. But Mystery Ranch does a pretty good job of everything with that.
But the one thing that packs, just go out to the store and just look at them, look what you want. I mean, I'm like a small pack kind of guy because I don't really go overnight hunts. But there's a small pack that could hold a lot, but also not be incredibly bulky. Like that one,
you can take that for.
I mean, that would be. That's. I mean, I've done day trips now. I've done.
You could do 3 day overnight trips.
Exactly.
I've done 3 day overnight trips with that same exact pack, and so.
Not the most important thing of elk hunting in Montana, but or hunting in general, but it sure makes it nice. But
along with like packs and stuff like that, a lot of those same companies make bino harnesses and stuff like that.
This is a bino harness. This is every stock. I like the way they make theirs, but
pretty much every company that we've listed for the packs and even more make bino harnesses for you to put your binoculars in. And along with other accessories like a rangefinder or something like that. But you throw that guy on and then you put your pack over the top.
So this is all it is, just like, so you have your bow against a tree or hanging a tree, wherever you're at, wherever you're doing. And every stock makes it, so it's magnetic, so it's all one hand, and then you can pull your binos out, and there's also thing you can, there's a couch on the floor, but put your optics in. There's the binos right there. Then I have a range. This isn't a rangefinder pouch. I'm currently on shipment for a rangefinder pouch, but the little pack you can put on the side. This is my rangefinder, so it also clips to there, so you can range it. Because I'll have my bow in my left hand or right from my left hand. I can just range it real fast or whatever. But I mean, vinyl harnesses aren't a necessity, but it's just more convenient than anything. I mean, there's Another side for
Wind checker.
bear spray. There's a wind checker spot right here. Actually, I put mine right here on this side because my right hand wearing wind check. So slot right there. I put like a Leatherman right here or
Allen key set. For
Allen keys. I have Allen keys I put in there.
Yeah. You can also, there's
put
spaces to put bear
Yeah.
spray on, or like Carson had that phone holder, you can put that on there.
Yeah.
These are all accessories not necessary for what you're doing, but
This
it does
one-
make it convenient.
This
make
one's
it
cool
nice.
because everybody stocks. They're out of Idaho. They sell a hand warmer that goes underneath this Velcro right here, and it's another room, but I have a hand warmer that puts on right there, and that helped me a lot last weekend because it was freaking cold and I have thick enough gloves. Just putting my hand warmer in there. I don't like wearing gloves when I'm hunting because it's bulky and you can't really feel the release, can't really feel your bow, can't feel your trigger on your gun or whatever you're doing. And that hand warmer, I put some hand warmer packs, favorite hand warmers in there. Hand warmer toasty, but yeah, bino harnesses, not a necessity, but super convenient. I never liked them. There's different types of binos, but just ones that have just like straps on it. There's an actual harness, just straps on the side, pretty simple. There's also ones that have I know Sitka makes a coat where they have bungee cords built into the coat, so your binos will hang from your coat basically. I know harnesses for tree stands. They have cords where you can hook onto the side of your binos like this, and your harness could hold them. But this is just all I did was that basically, and my binos. Oh, I can't do it with my fingers. My binos are out and they're hands free. Carson and Jamie to look through, but yeah, super awesome, super cool. Worth the money in my opinion, but I hunt a lot, so
keep that under. So now we gotta talk about what's in here. Having a pair of binos
it's big.
is important
One of the bigs.
because being able to see those elk or at a long distance is very, very nice. And you can't do that with just your eyes, and you don't have a rifle scope with you. Can't do that with your bow sight. So having a pair of binos is very nice. Anything, even if you're not going to go out and spend a crazy amount of money, just having something that will magnify it and that you can see farther and figure out what those elk are doing. And a lot of people during archery season, if elk aren't bugling, elk aren't talking, they're going to be doing a lot of glassing, which you sit on top of a very high part, have a lot of open country to see, and you can sit there and you're looking through the binos, trying to figure out where these elk are and what they're doing. So being able to see, having binoculars to do that, or a spotting scope, we don't have one with us, having a spotting scope,
hopefully.
anything like that, is very, very nice when it comes to hunting, since you don't have the scope with you.
But also, these are Vortex. I think Vortex is the best bang for your buck because lifetime warranty. They have a thing called VIP warranty. So basically,
if I were to take Carson's binoculars and threw it on the ground and broke it, we could call Vortex tomorrow and they would send another free pair.
Or go to a Vortex dealer and be like, hey, this rangefinder right here, I got this for Christmas 3 or 4 years ago, and this is my third one. And I know it's nothing wrong with the actual rangefinder itself, but just pieces of glue came out the eyepiece, and no questions asked. Warranty's a big thing. I know there's Vortex, there's Leopold's a good brand, there's Swarovski, which is Swarovski, whatever you say it. And they're high end. Leica's high end. There's Zeiss. There's Bushnell. There's all types of these brands for binos, but I want to say just whatever your price point was going to be, if that's your budget. I think Vortex is the best bang for your buck. I don't know what you think, but
it depends on what you're trying to go for. I think Swarovski is going to be some of the best glass you'll ever look through. It's going to be a lot clearer, get a lot more magnification at it. But yes, you're going to see that in the price tag. When it comes down to binoculars, I agree with Carson. Vortex is very good. It's nice with that warranty to do that.
Very nice.
To have that. Leupold also makes very, very nice stuff. Zeiss and all those companies make stuff. I think a big thing that we do with Shields is just to go look through it before you buy it and be like, oh, I see the difference in the glass in this one versus this one, because they're all going to do the same thing. It just depends how much money you're going to spend on it. I didn't spend a lot of money on binoculars because they're going to do the same thing as expensive ones in my opinion. So you don't have to go crazy on there.
Unless you want to go down a different route, they make rangefinder binos where they put binos, this and this together. So instead of Oh, I see a big bull. That's a big bull. I want to shoot that thing. Oh, Bino's back in the harness. Put my rangefinder. He is 50 yards. Okay, that's probably about 10, 15 seconds, and sometimes you might not have enough time.
Mm-hmm.
So they make a little button you put on top of it. I mean, on top of it, you just press and you arrange it, which is super convenient. So you only need one thing instead of two things, but it also comes with a price. They're a little more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
What a rangefinder does, because Carson jumped the gun a little bit, but a rangefinder does is going to be to pretty much tell you the range of anything. So you sit there, there's a button on there, you'll look through, and it'll just spit out the range of where anything is. So it's very, very nice to have. I think this thing's pretty important unless you're really good at judging distance. But being able to sit here and I got an elk coming in, range it, oh, it's at 20 yards, okay, then I can shoot. If I'm sitting there and I guess and I'm not very good at guessing, oh, it's 30 yards and I shoot with my 30-yard pin at this 20-yard elk, I can miss over its back.
Or wound it.
So, or wound it and any of that thing. So having a rangefinder is very nice. Like we said again, a lot of those companies make them. Different glass in there. Some of them are tinted green. Some of them are have different reticles when you're looking through there. Some of them shoot out farther. I think Carson's can shoot out to 4,000.
I've got this thing past 4,000 yards, which is pretty cool.
So you can shoot farther with them, and a lot of them will have angles. So if you're looking down at something, it'll take in the account for that angle and just spit out the yardage compared to other rangefinders where it'll sit there and you'll range it and it'll say it's 30 yards, but then when that accounts the angle, will say it's 25 or whatever. Yeah. So
rangefinders are one of the bigs for archery because it's a lot more difficult archery. A rifle, not so much. I mean, I haven't used a rangefinder. Handful of times, but
archery, it's nice to be able to know how far
you're
shooting.
I would for sure recommend for archery, unless you're freaking that thing is
25 yards,
you're
good at
and
that.
you're 25 and you're right on 25 yards. I mean,
but if once you get a rangefinder, it's okay if your rangefinder is off by 5 yards or whatever, as long as you know that and you're sitting there ranging and you go and your bow is sighted in with your rangefinder, all of those different things. But rangefinders are very, very nice to have with that.
So far 3 episodes. Boots is big. Scent killer, wind checker.
Your camo, having good clothes,
good camo,
keep you dry, keep you warm when it's early in the morning, keep you cool when it's super hot, and so you're not sweating. Backpacks,
good quality backpack for your back. Because having a sore back sucks.
And then optics, and then having a rangefinder or vinyl harness along with that pack, and then optics in there. And then once all is said and done, and hopefully you end up
harvesting a big bull
or
something,
you're gonna need knives, you're gonna need game bags, you're gonna need all sorts of different stuff.
I do have game bags. So fast. This is type of knife I use for gutting. So this is called Cutco. They make kitchen knives. You might know them. I love them. I have a spare set of whole kitchen set in my kitchen right now. But they make a hot knife. I mean, this thing has elk guts and fat and blood all over it. But super nice. Good grip on it. I mean, we've cut countless elk in one day with this bad boy. With one knife not getting dull, but having a dull knife gutting and skinning is not fun.
It's more dangerous than having a sharp knife.
The safest
I have the scar to prove it. But having a good knife, having multiple knives even, there's a lot of different knives you can get out there. I've got fixed blade knives. I have one that's, it's called a Ruana knife. They're made in Bonner. I have a Havalon, which
are razor blade or pistol knives.
So pretty much it is the knife and it has the handle, and then the blade are replaceable. So it comes, you buy packs of different blades and you can replace it. And those knives are awesome. The blades are super sharp right out of the pack. They're super, super nice to use. I've done many animals with those. Having a bone saw is always nice if you have to cut through any bone, and being able to split the ribs or open up the chest cavity, open up the pelvis, doing any of those things, cutting it off of the shoulder or whatever you're doing. Having a bone saw is also very nice. Along with, once that's all cut up, having game bags. A nice game bag is very nice to have to keep that meat cool. You're in archery season, it's hot out. You gotta be quick when you're doing the cutting process. Of cornering it, getting everything out. So having really nice game bags to keep that meat cool, keep it secluded from all the bugs and the dirt and all of that is also very, very nice to do. And then you take that game bag, strap it onto your backpack, put it in your meat shelf if your pack has one of those, some of those things. But having a nice knife does really help make that process go smoothly, so you're not spoiling any meat because it's hot out.
So let's get my game bags I bought from Mystery Ranch this year. So this is the pack that came in. This is Mystery Ranch brand of game bags. So I bought the full set. First time opening actually. What they look like. They're white bags.
White bag, reusable bags, so you can wash
That's why I
this.
bought them. Mystery Ranch is cool because they have handles. This is a 40-liter bag. It's on the side. It's like hind quarter.
20-liter bag.
Yep.
So you just put the meat, whatever meat you got in here. You can put a quarter in one of these guys. You can put backstrap, tenderloin, rib meat, a roast, or whatever in these guys. But it's just nice to get them in one of these that are pretty breathable and keep that meat away from everything else, all the elements and bugs and all of that. A lot of different companies out there to use it. I know Mystery Ranch makes them, Kuyu makes them,
Everly Stock makes
them. I personally have Caribou Gear ones that are really, really nice. There's a lot of different brands, but having a nice game bag can really help preserve that meat and last it a lot, make it last a lot longer.
Yeah, so these two front ones right here, this is a 60, this is a 60 liters, 20. And I got two 40s in the pack that I bought. So that's pretty much a leg, quarter.
Yeah.
And then your front leg, quarters, and then maybe your head or some back straps,
or something.
Whatever you can fit. Probably take more than one, maybe more than one trip, because the person that shot the bull or usually, in my opinion, should carry out the head. So the head in the rack, the skull in the rack. So that would go in their pack, and their buddies, hopefully they have buddies or friends, will carry a quarter or two or something. But if you don't want to buy, I think it's like $100 and some bucks. You don't want to buy reusable game bags like this, like make name brand ones like Mystery Ranch, Everly Stock, Kuyu, so on and so forth. You can buy the one-use ones.
Yeah, they sell a lot of
they make pretty cheap one-use game bags.
They're good to just use if you're gonna go hunt. You don't want to have to spend the money, because the reusable game bags are pretty pricey when it comes to it. So if you don't want to have to spend that money, they do make reusable game bags.
The reason why I bought these is because they're reusable. I buy them one time. These are probably pretty much the rest of my life unless they freaking break, and then I'll just get new ones from them for whatever reason. But yeah, game bags are cool. Not a necessity. If you can, if you're on private or public, whatever you can do. Sometimes you can be able to drive your pickup or something right to it. Or on our family ranch, we just, after we kill a bull or a cow, we just drive right to it in the Ranger, load up in the Ranger, haul back into town, and skin it there. You can gut it out there and skin it there, but we don't really use game bags. That's the way I've always hunted my life.
Not all of us are as fortunate to Carson to be born into a family with private ranch access with lots of elk on it.
Next year, me and Jamie are gonna go elk hunting in September together. We both will get bull tags. Should get bull tags.
Hopefully, but
should get you a bull next year. Hopefully, I'll be your somewhat of a guide.
Thanks. You can cut that out.
I'm keeping that in. I'm keeping that in. Yeah, figure out me and Jamie are pretty much best friends at this point.
Dude, why are you adding this into this part? I'm making you cut this out.
No, I'm just keeping it in.
Fuck no, you aren't.
Just to keep it in. But yeah, game bags pretty much wraps it up. Even get a nice little case for it. So I'm not gonna fold that up. I'm just gonna toss it over on the side. But we can get.
So one thing that is always nice to have, because elk, at the time that you're hunting them during archery season, they're bugling, they're in the rut, they're talking, cows are out there mewing, bulls are bugling. It's a good time. Mm-hmm. So being able to call and having different calls is very beneficial for you to locate those elk and attract those elk in. Mm-hmm. And so we have a couple different calls here. We don't have all the calls that we need. This
is all I carry.
We forgot.
I have this is a Primos cowgirl, and this is a Primos Hoochie Mama.
So
but there's also bugle tubes. There's diaphragms,
and all this stuff. So having different things. So having a cow call is very important because some of those times you can attract cows with the cow call, and you can attract bulls with those cow calls, because those cow calls kind of mean like, I'm in heat, I need this, I need that. And so having that be able to come and do that, you can also make calf sounds. So young elk, cows will be attracted to that, bulls will be attracted to that. So being able to cow call, do all those things. With these ones, it's pretty simple. Yeah. With this guy, it's just going to be a bite and you blow and it does it for you.
You want to demonstrate for us? Because you're a better call than I am.
I can try it. I've never used this one before, so we'll see what happens on here. So that one doesn't sound the greatest because I've never used it before. But having a cow call like this, or hoochie mama, where you just put your finger,
this one has
your thumb on there.
A mew, lost cow, and a cow in heat, and
you just put your thumb on there,
and then all you do is just.
So that does that. But there's other calls. I personally believe the most efficient ones would be diaphragms, which are little things with latex in there. You throw that in your mouth. You go hands free. You don't gotta take this out and use your hand. You don't gotta put that in your mouth. You can sit there and you can cow call with it, and then you can grab a bugle tube, which plastic tubes, metal tubes that amplify sound, and you can bugle at an elk with it. You can chuckle at an elk with it.
Well, those are everyone doesn't know that those are aimed for bulls, and those with a bugle tube, it just pisses off the other bull want to fight because
not
bulls.
The bugle does, not the tube itself.
Yeah. The bugle, the sound of the bugle, pisses off a bull, and like it's like because
bulls are territory.
Bulls are very territorial. They they scrape and they piss to mark the territory, and if a bull is challenging them to a fight, if they don't have a cow, if they're not chasing a cow, they'll beeline right towards you and try to fight. That's when you shoot them, hopefully. But if a bull doesn't have a cow, you do a cow call. I mean, this year, I don't carry a bugle tube, sadly, which I'm gonna get one for this next year. But I've cow called, and first outing for archery this year, I was cow calling, like I was walking into the timber every so often, and I got 50 yards in with a probably 3-year-old nice 7-point bull, but another bull tag, so I couldn't shoot it. But you'll be a cranker next year. But like, you don't necessarily need a bugle tube.
You need to be able to cow call.
You need to be able to cow call for sure, because
I bugled once. I heard in my however many days I hunted this year, I didn't hear a single actual bugle. I heard different elk sounds, chuckles, which is when you hear an elk bugle, they'll do the whole bugle thing, and at the end they'll kind of like that's a chuckle. And so I've heard a lot of bulls, it's not just about bugling, but they make these other sounds. Because there's different things between a bugle. There's a bugle, a chuckle, and a bark. The whole bugle is kind of location, looking for other elk, looking for cows, looking for other bulls. Then you have a chuckle, and the end of that chuckle can have end of a bugle, there can be a chuckle, where it's going to be a challenge to another bull that's in that area. If they just chuckle at you, it's just going to be a little bit of it's going to be like a come here, like I know that there's elk down there, come here. Or they will bark at you, which is their kind of like warning that like, oh, there's something there I don't like. They're going to bark at you. Yeah. So those are what those bulls are going to make. Those cows are going to make those mew sounds like you've heard with the hoochie mama. And so being able to cow call, I think, is way more important than being able to bugle. Because I heard one bugle this year, and that was it.
He was hunting over in western Montana. I was hunting more central, and there were the elk cows on our property were bugling their heads off. I mean, elk are pretty. When bull elk, when the cows are in heat, they're pretty horny. I'm gonna have to say. So that's all it really is. But I literally used this, and I got on, not even trying. I was hoping it was a cow because I just hoping I could get a bull tag. So it was in the tree, just cow called, and 50 yards with a nice 7-point bull. But
I had a bull this year. Yeah. I cow called down into a drainage and immediately got cow calls back from multiple different cows in this drainage. And in this unit, I could shoot a cow or a bull. Started to make my way down this timber, had my buddy start calling behind me, and those cows eventually stopped calling, but continued to cow call, worked my way down to the bottom. Right before I got down to the bottom, started hearing antlers hitting stuff in, and I had probably like a 2-3-year-old bull come in. It was probably 3-year-old bull come in, 5-point to 37 yards, and was just on a dead sprint. And if I would have not stopped and dropped and caused movement, he would have ran me over because he was so fired up and so excited to hear.
They get
so they get crazy and they get dumb, and being able to cow call and coax them in and do that sort of stuff is very, very nice.
Speaking of bulls, was this shed pretty close to it?
Yeah, he was very, very similar to this. Had bigger third. He had big thirds on him. Pretty wide. Oh, that is his third one. That's a 6 point. This is not even close to it. Oh, stupid.
I don't know. This one. What's this? 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's a 4. Well, if you take this one off, he was like that. No, he had a whale tail. If you take this one off, I don't even know what he was, but he had really big fucking thirds. Dude.
We just sheds off our family ranch in Southern Montana, but yeah, we'll get into later episodes about horns and I guess how to score and how to look for a big bull in terms of big bull or not.
So for this episode, we kind of just talked about camo and having good camo, keep you waterproof, dry, warm, cold, keep you cool when you need it, having good boots, keeping your feet comfortable, keeping your feet dry, keeping your feet at a good temperature, honey packs,
having a good pack for your back, and especially for if you have the pack, having a good packed packing pack, down to your bino harness to have it's not a necessity. Really convenient.
Nice, very nice.
It'll hold your binos. It'll hold your rangefinder and optics, flies for archery. Binos and rangefinders really big because you can't shoot what you can't see basically.
Exactly.
You can glass with them. Rangefinder really important for telling distance because on the flat range you have your 10 out to 100, and you're like kind of that looks about 20, but in all honesty 20 is a lot closer than you think, or vice versa. But optics pretty big.
Calls
are
able to call.
Cow call is really important.
Cow calls, bugles if you need that, any of that.
Scent
killers, wind checkers.
You can do that with spraying or
washing.
My sagebrush box or pine needle box, I'm gonna call it. Game
bags, knives, all that sort of stuff when you're
all the miscellaneous stuff.
And when you've killed an elk, using all that equipment to do that.
All right, so we pretty much touched about it based on everything. If you want any more detailed things, leave it in the comment section down below. Subscribe if you want. It'd be cool. I'm having pretty much fun. I'm like, you get me. But yeah, so this is the bugle. Talk everything elk hunting. Mostly archery because archery is way more cool. But yeah, this is the second episode of what to wear, basically. So
next episode we'll talk about more of where to go and being able to hunt Montana and the different tags and all that sort of stuff.
So thank you for watching. Goodbye.